It is an undeniable truth in the content world that a short, punchy clip absolutely crushes a long, rambling video any day of the week. We are all constantly doom-scrolling through shorts, reels, and TikToks, consuming content at a breakneck pace, aren't we? But the actual process of creating that scroll-stopping content feels like an absolute never-ending grind. If you are a creator chasing higher view counts, better watch time, and that ever-elusive high click-through rate, you feel this struggle deep in your core. I can tell you right now that I was right there with you, stuck in the most exhausting creator hamster wheel imaginable. My team and I were perpetually caught in late-night editing sprints, trimming little clips past 2 in the morning, hoping against hope. We were literally praying that one weak social post might somehow, miraculously, break through the brutal social media algorithm that day. That all completely changed the moment I discovered the game-changing power of Vizard in my workflow. Let me walk you through the usual, very unexciting starting scene, where I'm just talking directly to the camera. There's no fancy production value here, just my trusty steady camera, my go-to audio microphone, and some basic lighting setup. It is raw and completely honest. But let's be completely candid. It's also incredibly snooze-inducing, without any thoughtful editing applied. This is precisely where we step in, and apply a serious fix to elevate the entire presentation. Here is the simple, beautiful process. I open Vizard, click Upload, drop my long video file right in, and immediately tell it the source language. If the source material is a podcast featuring multiple distinct voices, I instantly toggle the multi-speaker mode for accuracy. This crucial setting assigns a unique caption color to each speaker, which is a small detail that significantly helps viewers track conversations. Furthermore, Vizard offers rapid caption translation capabilities if your goal is to connect with non-English speaking audiences globally. Honestly, the software seems to speak more languages than I do, which provides an enormous sense of relief for international outreach. Crucially, these captions are not just some plain, static block of text that bores the viewer immediately. Vizard automatically generates animated captions that genuinely match the rhythm and energy of your spoken delivery. You get slick transitions between words, and you can even seamlessly drop in relevant emojis that land perfectly on the beat of your sentence. If you take the time to change even a single word style within the text properties, the entire visual vibe of the caption sequence can immediately shift. I admit that I sometimes waste an unnecessary amount of time fiddling with these granular style settings, but it is oddly therapeutic. Looking at the top of the interface, you'll see a few key tabs: Trim, Captions, and Audio, each governing a vital stage. The Trim tab is undoubtedly where the heavy, necessary cleanup work of removing dead air actually takes place. Within this editing timeline, you gain the precision to slice out every single awkward every accidental pause of, "What was I saying?" and even that bizarre stray cat cameo. While you absolutely could meticulously cut every single clip one by one, Vizard offers 2 buttons that genuinely feel like they were pulled straight from a magic wand. The Remove Silences feature allows you to select your desired pacing level and then completely vaporizes all of that dead air instantly. If you set the trimming sensitivity to a gentle setting, it subtly removes only the major, noticeable pauses between your thoughts. However, if you crank the setting up to an aggressive mode, it mercilessly nukes every last microsecond of silence present in the recording. What used to require an entire half-hour session for a human editor now disappears faster than my last shred of patience during a buffering spinner. Next, we have the incredibly useful Remove Bad Takes feature, which is an absolute lifesaver for anyone who stumbles over their words. This smart function detects when you've mumbled a line multiple times and intelligently suggests automatically dropping those unwanted takes. It saves me from the painful chore of scrubbing endlessly through footage just to locate that one perfect, clean sentence where I don't sound like a faulty machine. Once the initial rough cuts are successfully handled, I always move over to that small audio icon to activate the cleanup. The Clean Audio button is genuinely like magic because it tackles stray hums and annoying room noise with a single tap. It manages this entire process without ever asking me to get into the weeds about complex compressors or precise EQ curves. What would normally require a full, dedicated session in a professional digital audio workstation is now achieved within a mere coffee break inside Vizard. You also possess the immediate ability to layer in background music using the platform's truly enormous built-in music library. I'm careful not to blast the tracks too loudly, since YouTube's copyright bots are demonstrably faster than Spider-Man spotting danger. For TikTok and Instagram stories, however, keeping the music volume a bit higher is usually perfectly acceptable for the vibe. Vizard even provides helpful flags for potential copyright issues, which allows you to effortlessly dodge those painful DMCA landmines. In real-world application, all these powerful audio and trim steps usually take me about 60 actual seconds to complete from start to finish. I intentionally talk a bit slower during my recording sessions, just so the final video looks like it took a longer, more involved editing process. Once the audio and cuts are finalized, I jump over to the dedicated Captions tab to focus on the on-screen text presentation. The available preset styles cover every single current trend you can imagine: clean, chunky, kinetic, and virtually every option in between. For my main content, my reliable default is always a clean, highly readable style because, let's be honest, readability directly correlates with performance metrics. You possess the fine-tuned control to nudge the caption position, globally adjust the font size, manipulate colors, and even highlight specific words for emphasis. You can even get into the weeds to precisely dictate where line breaks occur, which greatly impacts pacing and visual flow. The emojis you select also get their own dedicated little animation playground, where you can control their unique entrance and exit. Sometimes the built-in AI splits the text lines perfectly, but other times I manually drag one isolated word back to join its sentence buddies. Achieving that final layer of visual polish usually only takes a couple of focused minutes of dedicated effort. A crucial reminder to always hit the save button, unless you genuinely enjoy the painful experience of time traveling back to square one edits. Here is one professional tip that has saved me from platform-specific headaches. Captions can look great in the editor, but get totally obscured by app UI on a phone. To avoid guessing games, I use Vizard's overlay toggle feature to place a transparent phone skin right over the preview for verification. This small action is the difference between confidently crossing a busy street and blithely walking into traffic because the lights were hidden. While you are taking care of this initial house cleaning, take a moment to check the final required aspect ratio for your chosen platform. Maybe you mistakenly imported a horizontal vlog into a vertical short project, but thankfully that is easily correctable here. When you flip to vertical, Vizard intelligently offers to either letterbox the footage or smart crop it to keep your face from being awkwardly sliced in half. Technically, shooting vertically from the very beginning is always the superior choice for these formats, but Vizard's crop acts as a fantastic safety net. I learned that safety net lesson the hard way when I posted a short where my entire forehead was unexpectedly cropped clean out of existence. Now we can move on to the genuinely fun part of the production process, which is integrating dynamic B-roll footage. Vizard expertly chops your main talking head recording into manageable bite-sized segments, much like a professional sushi chef slicing premium tuna. You simply hover over any one of those defined segments, click the Add B-roll button, and an entire vault of options instantly opens up. This vault contains everything from stunning cinematic slow-motion shots to those perfectly goofy stock moments that just fit the context. You also maintain the power to drag and drop your own custom clips, like that one perfect drone shot you spent a whole weekend capturing. Even when using fresh, new footage, the scene can feel unexpectedly flat if there is zero movement captured within the frame. That's why I almost always add a very soft push-in, or a gentle punch-out zoom to ensure the frame feels like it is subtly breathing. Think of motion as the essential seasoning for your visual dish. Skip it entirely, and your final clip will taste exactly like plain, unseasoned rice. The zoom tool itself is almost insultingly easy to use, providing simple one-click options from a subtle breath in to a full-throttle rocket zoom effect. I personally favor applying a sharp, immediate zoom right at the beginning of a scene to inject instant momentum before my very first word lands. You need to set that roller coaster to the immediate launch setting, rather than letting it creep out of the station at a snail's pace. Shorts absolutely live and die by that initial burst of adrenaline that keeps the viewer watching past the first second. Moving on to audio effects, these small sound additions are truly the secret, hidden sauce that elevates production value significantly. Drop a subtle swoosh sound effect at the exact millisecond a visual cut happens, and the edit instantly feels expensive and polished. It gives the impression that you hired an entire Hollywood Foley team and paid their exorbitant fees using cryptocurrency NFTs. If you need a much more aggressive transition between two scenes, you can easily toss in a crackle or a subtle electrical zap sound. These tiny, tactile sounds are what make the entire final product feel authentically handcrafted, rather than purely algorithmic. For those of us who absolutely love to tweak every single parameter, you can still dial every single element in by hand to your exact preference. But Vizard wisely includes two extremely powerful cheat codes that save you from ever having to descend into the full, deep editor rabbit hole. These powerful options are called auto-editing viral clips in the fantastic Magic B-roll selector. The viral clips tool actually passes your long video, intelligently identifies the absolute best, most shareable nuggets, and turns them into post-ready clips automatically. This feature understands inherently which specific moments possess the strongest built-in hooks and the greatest potential for momentum. Then, Magic B-roll meticulously sifts through your entire script, figuring out precisely which parts desperately need visual support. It automatically populates those empty spots with either appropriate stock media or the custom clips you have previously uploaded for use. A brilliant aspect of this system is that it intelligently leaves you, the speaker, on screen whenever a deeply personal moment requires your direct presence. It avoids turning every single segment of your narrative into a dry, impersonal slideshow of disembodied visuals, which is a massive benefit. A very important heads up for everyone. These two incredibly powerful magic buttons act like small reset grenades for your existing work. If you hit them, any custom B-roll you manually placed or any unique zoom you painstakingly set up might instantly vanish into the digital ether. Therefore, my personal workflow dictates I run both magic tools first to build the foundation, and then I go back in to gently nudge the things that feel slightly off-kilter. This strategy ensures you capture the incredible speed of full automation while retaining essential creative control over the final outcome. The resulting cut feels authentically like your voice and style, not just another one of the 5 cookie-cutter shorts clogging up everyone's feed. You also have the option of picture-in-picture overlays, allowing you to stick an extra image on top of any scene for added context. These overlays behave somewhat like a superpowered emoji, letting you add quick reaction faces or integrate funny meme energy effortlessly. I personally try to use them sparingly in shorts because too many stickers can feel like inviting a loud confetti cannon to a quiet coffee date. But sometimes that perfectly placed, timely pop culture frame lands the exact laugh you were hoping for, making the temptation worth it. When you compare Vizard to other single-purpose tools like Submagic, they often fall short by missing the full, integrated workflow. Competitors might excel at making captions visually pretty, or they might nail the tricky audio cleanup process, but few unite everything effectively. Few competitors seamlessly stitch together auto-selecting viral moments, scheduling tools, and a content calendar across all your necessary platforms. Many competing options are overly pricey, or their content scheduling features are frustratingly clunky, forcing manual exports and queuing. Vizard's true strength is folding the entire editing process and the necessary distribution loop directly into one cohesive application. The auto-schedule function allows you to preset a consistent posting frequency, and the AI handles queuing the content across your varied socials automatically. The content calendar feature provides you with one single, unified pane where you can manage, modify, and ultimately publish all your clips without app hopping. That consolidation is absolutely monumental when your entire goal is maintaining posting consistency without succumbing to creative burnout. When every single visual and audio element is finally polished to perfection, the actual export process is nothing more than a single, satisfying click. Vizard even proactively suggests a draft caption and description text you can immediately drop into the relevant upload box for you. This simple convenience removes another layer of tedious mental load when you're already juggling the critical tasks of thumbnails and hashtag research. You can then download the finalized video file directly, or simply let Vizard handle the entire publishing push based on your predetermined schedule. So, the effective modern workflow is incredibly simple. You hit record, let Vizard expertly find all the genuinely good bits, and then fine-tune for just 10 minutes. After that focused effort, you have a compelling short ready to go that actually stands a real chance of hooking new viewers. The platform's algorithm is famously impatient, so giving it a punchy, clean, and highly polished clip vastly increases your probability of success. I will be sure to place a direct link to try out Vizard down in the description box below for everyone watching this guide. Seriously, go make something that you would actually be proud to rewatch later on your own feed. I mean it when I say, record your raw footage, spend only 10 intense minutes tweaking the details, and get that short published live immediately. The endless opportunities of the internet will never slow down for anyone, and neither will your next potential viral moment if you act now.